From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No, I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. An email from a listener named Brian. Brian writes in and says, "Boy, Tom, I wish I would have listened to you a year ago. I recently left my wife for her friend. We dated for almost a year and decided to have a baby." Oh, Jesus Christ. She got pregnant and we got married in March. Soon after, the bitch turned into a completely different person. Duh. Most of them do. She kicked me out of where we were living. Now get this. Meow. Listen to this. I got my own apartment. This is after she kicked him out. I got my own apartment, but I continued to pay her bills in hopes that we would get back together. She told me that she hated me and that she never wanted to see me ever again. After that, I decided to cut her off completely. She has no jobs, lots of bills, and she cannot survive without my support. I hope she suffers, but I am worried about the baby. I am 26, and this is my first child, so I am worried about the stress on her and the baby. Why are you worried about her? She kicked you out. She's a psycho bitch from hell, and she kicked you out. Why would you pay her bills in hopes of keeping the relationship going? She's a bitch. He says, I have to say that I'm excited about the baby, but I hate her so much. Yeah, you hate her so much, but you continued paying the bills in hopes of renewing the relationship. You're a pussified moron. Wake up and get your act together, you pussy. He says, Tom, I need your advice. What should I do? Did I make the right decision? I don't mind paying child support, but I don't want her to have anything. Well, good luck, pal. Because you know what child support is? That's a check you make out to the woman you hate. And then she can decide how to spend that money. I don't know how much money you make, but a child support check could be more or less than she needs to support that baby. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's a lot more. Sometimes the money doesn't reach the baby. Sometimes the money is spent on booze or it's spent on clothing to attract another sucker like yourself. You should have thought of that before you had a baby. Jesus. He said, I really need some advice. Thanks for everything, and I really love your show. Signed, Brian. Brian, it's tough love, baby. We love you. We care about you. And that's why I'm tough on you like the father you apparently never had. This was a stupid thing to do. You had a baby before you got married. You left your wife for her friend. What happened to your ex-wife there, pal? Why are you married twice at 26 years old? You know, everybody talks about how I've been married 4 times. I was not married twice by 26, folks. No. When I was 26, I was living alone and loving every minute of it. I was not married a second time and having a baby yet. This is one of these guys who just keeps bouncing from relationship to relationship. Well, we were together a year and we decided to have a baby, and so we did. The end. You know, come on. First of all, I tell everybody on this show, if you're going to have a baby, you should be with that person. Especially, I'll tell you what, if you're 26, 5 years. 5 years. It eliminates problems like this. You know why? Because so many marriages end in divorce within 5 years. If you make it past 5 years, and take it from one who knows, okay, you have to make it past 5 years to have a shot at making it last for good. You do. That's the hardest period of time, the first 5 years, with the most danger. I think the most danger for temptation, the most danger for disagreements, because the reality is these days people don't take enough time to get to know each other. They don't. We don't. We don't wait long enough that we know people. We make snap decisions. We decide to have babies with people we're not married to. Because I'm ready to have a baby. Therefore, I'm going to have one with you over there. That's what this guy did. Unbelievable. We dated for almost a year and decided to have a baby. Then she turned into a completely different person. I don't think she did. I think her goal was to get you to impregnate her and pay her bills. She got that, and then she'd never be nice to you anymore. Left your wife for her friend, and then you got paid back in spades. Did you make the right decision? Yes. Leaving her? Yes. That was the only right decision you made, was leaving that bitch. And by the way, you did not make the decision. She made the decision. You had no choice but to go along with her decision. What should I do? No more than you have to do. What, do you want to see the baby now? That means you have to go over and negotiate with this insane person? You chose her, pal. You did. My suggestion to you, cut your losses. Cut your losses. You have a baby with someone you've been married to at least a couple of years. You don't date someone for a year and then have a baby and then get married. No. There's nothing prudish about this. There's nothing to do with morality or religion here. I couldn't care less. I'm an atheist. I'm being pragmatic. The best shot you have of making everything last is doing everything in a certain order. You have a baby with someone you are married to and planning on staying with. So everybody's intact. So you have enough time to figure out if you can stand to look at that bitch every day. Because if you can't do it long term, you end up where you are now. It's unbelievable. The part I don't understand, and this is the part I want to talk about this hour, the part that even though she kicked him out, he continued to pay her bills in hopes that they would get back together. I'm going to be honest with you. I have paid bills after I left. I've done that. It was stupid. It is never appreciated. Never, ever. Women see that as an entitlement. I have bought furniture, which I was supposed to be reimbursed for, that I wasn't. I've bought computers. I have bought, odds and ends around the house, household items. I have paid rent. I have paid gas. I have paid electricity. I have paid for cable TV and telephone service. I have done this in my life. It is never the right thing to do. And the reason it is never the right thing to do is because you do it as a guy because you feel bad about leaving, or you feel bad that things didn't work out, or you hope that by spending enough money, you'll make the other person like you again, or maybe you'll get back together with them, or whatever. The reality is women feel that our paying their bills is an entitlement. They never, ever appreciate when you do that. If anything, it sparks resentment. They resent being dependent upon you. Women love saying how they don't need men, and then they happily take our money. Some of the smartest women I know could just stay there on the dole forever. You just keep paying, they just keep taking. They don't care. They don't care. They don't. Is there anybody out there, raise your hands, boys, is there anybody out there who paid the bills for a woman and she came to you and she said, do you know how much I appreciate what you're doing for me? I know how hard you work and how hard it is to come up with that cash every month. I know how expensive my rent is, and I also know that you probably don't like the idea of paying for all my purses and my accessories and my cosmetics and my perfume, and because I'm going out with other guys now. And you know how I know how difficult it is for you to pay for, all the things I buy, liquor, wine, Persian rugs for the house or whatever I'm buying. I just want you to know that I appreciate everything you do. And even though we're not together, it means so much to me. Every time you pay my rent, I think, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how to make it up to you. I don't know if I ever can, but I just wanted to tell you, thanks for everything you do for me. I mean, really, is there any man out there who's ever heard that from a chick whose bills he was paying? Ever? 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 Women expect us to pay for everything. It is an entitlement. Just the way welfare recipients expect to get their check. Just the way Social Security recipients expect to get their check. All the people who get checks, they all expect it. Anytime you break up with a woman or she kicks you out and you pay her bills, she expects it. How often do women say, no, I will not let you pay my rent? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't take money from you. How often does that happen? It happens on TV shows and in movies. But in real life, how often does a woman say, oh, no, you are not going to pay for my car? Absolutely not. And then when you pay for a woman's car, how often does she say, I couldn't get around if you didn't take your hard-earned money and make these car payments. I want to tell you how much I appreciate that. In your dreams, pal. Women never appreciate that. Never. I say this as a man who has done it, and I can tell you I'll never do it again. I learned. I did. Are you paying the bills? Now, again, let's eliminate all the people who are paying child support because the court told them to or have been court-ordered to pay vagina money. This is a voluntary thing on your part. Are you paying the bills of somebody you used to be with? Maybe it's somebody you hope to be with again. Maybe it's somebody you've never been with, but you're hoping to be with. Are you paying a woman's bills? Are you doing it? I need you to tell me why.
Oh, yeah. Leykis. Leykis.
Are the people who listen to your show, are they smoking crack before they call?
Probably, yes.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. Tom Show.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, the court did not order you to do this. You do not have to pay child support. You do not have to pay alimony. You've decided for some reason to continue paying the bills of an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife. Why? Dan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Dan.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
So, yeah, I had a girlfriend, good girl, hot looking, hung out with her for a couple years. I make good money, 6 figures and more. I don't feel it. So it's like, Dan, if anything ever happens to us and, we break up, are you going to still take care of me? And I'm like, Jill, no problem.
Why did you say no problem today?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, why? Look, if you don't know why you're doing something, you shouldn't be doing it.
Well, I don't feel it. I got money. It's just like paying rent.
But it is not like paying rent. When you pay rent, you sign a contract, and a complete stranger is giving you a service in exchange for that money. When you buy a car, look out the window. You own a car. There it is. It's yours.
Right, but if you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying about.
No, I don't.
You do because you don't feel it. What's 1,500 here? What's 1,000 there?
You know what it is? It's yours. That's what it is. It's your money. You know, if you took that money and invested it, you could retire at 50.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get. I know what you're saying. I hear you.
Why? What exactly are you getting for that money?
Nothing.
Then why did you agree to do this? Let's look into your psyche for a second. Why are you doing this?
Because 2.5 years ago, she doesn't work. She used to be a
Why
model.
doesn't she work?
Because she doesn't.
Because she's a lazy, good-for-nothing bitch who doesn't even give you sex anymore.
I've moved on. I mean, here and there I might go over and bang her if I feel like it, but...
You are not getting... The point is, you're paying for nothing. She is a grown adult.
Right.
Who could work if she chose to,
Totally.
but because she's got a sucker like you, she doesn't go to work.
Look, a couple years... Look, it's not a sucker. It's like... if
You are a sucker.
You live against your means. If you have the means to do...
You don't. This is... Look, how much money do you have in the bank?
More than six and a half, 7 figures almost.
The point is, I don't care how much you have. This is your money.
I understand that.
For example, you could, if you insist on spending money on women, you could be spending on women who will be putting out in the near future.
I know, but I told her a couple years ago.
Why did you tell her that?
Because she asked me.
I don't care what if she asked you, can I put a knife in your heart, Dan? Dan, can I push you off a cliff? Dan, can I stab you? Dan, can I slit your wrist for you, Dan? Would you say yes?
No, but she's like a 30, 40K a year person.
I don't care. That's her own fault. That's not your fault.
Well, she was nice to me. I told her I'd take care of her.
Why did you tell her that?
She asked me, and
the fact that she asked you that is not a good enough reason to do it.
She asked me at the time. I told her I would. And
why did you tell her that? You're a pussy. Why did you tell her that?
Because I cared for her. I felt for her. She was a good woman.
Is she an idiot? Is she a complete blithering moron?
She's a bubble-headed bleach blonde, that's for sure.
Yeah, but look, if she can make $40,000 a year, she's not completely stupid.
No, she's got an accounting degree.
She's got an accounting degree. Why isn't she an accountant? Because you're a sucker. That's why.
Well, I'm paying her rent in her car, that's it.
Why?
Because I don't know why, because I told her I would.
Then stop doing it.
You know what? Then she says that I'm holding it over her head, and she says that I promised it to her, and if I do that, it's like breaking a promise.
So what?
And I'm going to leave her out in the cold, and she won't ever win.
In the cold, she makes $40,000 a year, and she has an accounting degree. Tell her to get an effing job. Get a job.
Yeah.
Get a job.
Haven't you ever felt obligated to do something for someone?
Well, you know what? When I did it, I was a moron. And you know what? I'll never do it again.
Right. Well, sometimes when I'm right, I mean, you know how it is when you don't feel it. You just throw money out. You don't feel it. You make big money. You know what I'm saying. What's $1,500? What's $1,000?
It's yours. I'll tell you what, it's yours, Dan. It doesn't belong to her. Now, if she was down there working underneath the desk, maybe I could see it, but I don't see it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Brian.
How you doing, brother?
Do you care?
Absolutely.
Doing great.
I am guilty, Tom. I am paying my ex-wife's bills.
Why?
Well, we have a 5-year-old son, Tom, and when it started, I sort of felt like paying her bills was going to help him sort of in the long run live a better life, but I'm starting to see your point on this one. I'm getting no appreciation out of her whatsoever,
and you have no control over where the money's being spent either.
I don't have a clue, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a clue where that money's going. I just absolutely paid for her to move out into a new apartment. I'm still paying her car insurance, and I think it's got to stop.
Great. How long were you married?
4.5 years.
Do you realize the most you would have to pay in California in vaginamony would be a year and 3 months?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do you have an attorney?
Not as the president. I don't need one, Tom.
Yeah, but you need one to get a divorce.
It was sort of like a mutual divorce, and no, we didn't even go to court on it. It was in Hawaii, actually.
But is it legal?
Yes, absolutely legal.
All right. Well, you really ought to consult an attorney about this, because even if they nailed you for vagina money, in California, the amount of time that she gets money, under the worst case, is for half the time you're married.
Okay.
So you would not have to pay. Oh, but yeah, now, of course, if she went to court, you'd probably have to pay child support, and it might be more than you want to pay. But here's the thing. You don't even know she's spending that money on the kid, and she probably isn't.
I've been thinking about that, Tom. Actually, I do pay child support. That was actually court-ordered. I agreed upon.
So then why don't you just give her that and cut her off?
I don't know, Tom.
What do you mean you don't know? That's a weak answer. Are you a man?
It's one of those things. If you have a kid and her life's not going the way it should, and she's doing everything.
You can't fix that. Why did you break up with her?
Honestly, we just could not stay married. We didn't get along at all.
So why is this your responsibility? You're paying your child support. Why is her life your responsibility?
Well, in some way, I'm guilty of the trying to get her back kind of deal, like you were talking about earlier. In some way, I think that it was just trying to keep her around or making her think better of me. And let me tell everybody that's listening right now, it does not work.
It doesn't work. Women don't appreciate that.
Not at all. She says, oh, thank you. Oh, my God, you do so much for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me tell you, she has never done a thing for me, ever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm telling you, it's the biggest mistake a man can make, is to feel sorry for somebody you used to be with and to start paying their bills. It's the worst thing you can do, because you get no appreciation. You just don't get appreciation.
I'm totally with you on that, Tom.
So when are you going to stop?
I'm going to stop tomorrow, Tom. I ain't even kidding. I can't believe this was on the radio today.
So you'll just pay your child support, and you'll tell her you're not paying her rent anymore. You're not paying her anymore.
I'll tell her as soon as I get off the phone with you, Tom.
Will you promise to call me back and tell me what happened?
Yeah, sure.
Are you really going to do this or no?
Absolutely.
Somehow I doubt it.
Oh, I promise you, Tom.
All right, you hold on. Dean's going to get your phone number.
Okay.
And we're going to call back and check.
Okay, no problem, Tom.
Hold on, Brian. 1-800-5800-TOM. He's our telephone number. Melissa on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Melissa.
How are you?
Do you care?
Yes.
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, I am the exception to pretty much everything that you say.
Every woman calls in and says that. How can we check?
Well, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you. Now, this is not my ex. This is my fiancé. We're going to get married in another month. And this is just funny that this is on, because just recently he hates his job. The economy sucks. He's been looking for a job for a year. And I actually thanked him for getting up, going to a job that he hates, and taking care of us. Now, I work, I make good money, and I contribute too.
Well, that's all wonderful. Do you really think women generally do that?
No, but I do. And that's why I
But you realize that you are the exception to the very, very applicable rule here.
Yes.
That women just expect us to pay for everything. And they do not come and thank us or show us in any way that they appreciate the fact that we make money.
See, I wasn't raised like that. I was raised to appreciate that. And so that's why I love to listen to you, but it's hard because it's not me.
I understand. But by the same token, you know it's just about everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I have actually, and it just, I thanked him, and I pay my own bills, and if anything, were to ever happen, I would never ask him to pay my bills. I mean, that's what my parents sent me to college. They wanted me to have a college education so I could support myself and not have to rely on anybody else.
Yeah. Well, women always love to say how they don't need us, but then when we send money, they're just all too happy to take it.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom 1-800-5800-TOM. Catherine.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How's it going?
Going great.
Hey, I really take exception to what you're saying about women, not being willing to support themselves and really just wanting to sit back and support them. And I know.
Oh, no, I didn't say women are not willing to support themselves. I said when men pay, women sit back and accept. They don't say, God, I just can't believe your generosity. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. They sit back and expect to get it.
I don't know. That's not been my experience.
Well, how many women have you dated?
I don't date women.
Well, that's my point, dear.
Don't date women.
You couldn't have the experience. You're not a man.
But I know a lot of women, and that's not their mentality. Their mentality is they expect to take care of themselves.
How many of them are more attractive than a 6?
The one thing I will admit is the ones who do sit back and let guys take care of them tend to be the very attractive ones.
Because they can.
Because they can. But, I'm not a dog. I'm not fat.
What do you look like?
I'm 5'7". I'm athletic.
Athletic means you weigh how much? How much do you weigh?
About 160.
160?
I'm a 5'10".
You weigh 160? Dear, no one's that athletic.
Okay.
Come on, dear.
I don't know what to tell you. I won a bodybuilding contest a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I'm in pretty good shape.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, darling?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I put myself at a 7.5.
That's a Portland 7.5? Yeah.
When I was in Southern California, I'd given myself a 7.5.
Oh, so you're in L.A. 7.5?
I'm sorry?
You think you're in L.A. 7.5?
Well, not at 39, but, when I was 30, when I lived there.
Well, of course you pay your own bills, darling.
Wow. That's really harsh.
It's true, though.
No.
Come on, women always say they want us to be honest. Should I lie to you?
I just think these generalizations that you make...
They're generally true.
I don't think they are true, and I think they're dangerous.
Give me the ones that are generally untrue, and I'm listening.
Okay, I generally think it's untrue that women expect men to support them.
Oh, really?
Yes, I
Then why would any women ever accept alimony?
What's that?
Why would a woman accept alimony if that's not true?
I don't know any women who get alimony.
How many women do you know who are politically active in the fight to eradicate alimony?
Well, I don't know any that are fighting to eradicate alimony.
Including yourself. Do you think alimony is fair?
Not usually.
What do you mean?
I think it is.
When?
When people have been married for 20 years and some guy goes through his midlife crisis and dumps his wife for some 20-year-old bimbo, and this woman's been spending her whole life taking care of him and she has no skills. And
why does she have no skills? Whose fault is it that she has no skills?
They may have based their marriage on an arrangement like that. That's
anybody who does that is stupid.
And I agree with you that they're stupid.
So if they're stupid, why should the man have to pay?
It's a mutual decision. If that's what they set their marriage...
By the way, you know what? You could be married 20 years. You know that you could be married 20 years and a woman could dump the man and then he'd have to pay alimony?
Do you really think that happens a lot? I don't think it happens a lot. And then the people...
I don't know how often it happens to you.
I think
it should never happen.
Like that.
It shouldn't happen once.
Well, lots of things shouldn't happen, but putting out these...
But you have no problem with it. It's perfectly okay with you.
I'm not saying it's okay. I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's okay.
Yeah, but it's perfectly okay that we don't change the law that allows that to happen, right?
It's more often that is the guy that dumps the woman...
Oh, not anymore, darling. What world are you living in? What world are you living in?
The one where the majority of people who cheat on their spouses are men.
No, you know what, darling? You're older than 39, then, because I'm telling you, in the real world here, with people in their 20s and 30s, that is not true anymore. It's just not.
Maybe it's just that my values are based on...
I don't care what your values are. I'm talking about the values of society. Your values, I don't care. You can be Pope Paul, you can be Mother Teresa. I don't care.
20 and 30-year-olds do not represent all of society.
No one said it's all. All we're talking about is we're talking in generalizations. Do you understand what that means? I'm broadcasting to a broad audience of broads. I'm talking to 3 million or more people at the same time. Certain things are generally true. If there's an exception to the rule, if one day man bites dog, if one day a man gets an alimony payment from a woman, that doesn't mean that by in general that's what happens. Right?
You're right. That would define generalization.
So stop saying, well, it's not, we don't care. Of course we generalize. You know what? If you don't generalize, you can't say, how can you comment on anything? By the way, speaking of generalizing, didn't you just say it's mostly men who have affairs? Well, how convenient. You dropped off the line there. Very nice. 1-800-5800-TOM. Lucy, hello.
Tom?
Did you want to talk to Tom?
I know this is Tom. I got a little bit of fuzz on the other line. I just wanted to tell you a story about me. And there are exceptions to the rule.
I don't care about exceptions to the rule. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
I tell you.
I don't care. I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule. We're not talking about exceptions to the rule. We're talking about the rule right now.
Okay, well, can I tell you my story anyway?
No.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
We all know who has the most popular talk show in Seattle.
You do?
Of course. It's not Frasier.
You when you're here.
Some people think it's Frasier. It's not Frasier.
It's Tom.
Of course.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Like tuning in. Let's say hello to Tammy on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tammy.
How you doing?
Great.
You know what, Tom? The girl who just called, the fat girl, the 160-pound girl?
Yeah.
She wasn't fat. I weigh 140, but I'm 5'10", so it works for me. But, but she's ridiculous. You know what? The fact of the matter is you're right. If you're hot enough to get something from a guy, you will take it. And I know I have. But I learned my lesson.
How?
Well, this guy bought me a car. We were dating. Everything was great. I was young, and I was stupid, and I thought he bought me a car because he cared about me. He was actually trying to purchase a young girl, and when I left and I gave him the car back, not only was he shocked that I gave the car back, but I was carless. And I learned. I was like, no. You can't do more for me than I can do for you. Then it's always got to be even, Steven.
Wow. Look at you.
But you're right, though. But you're right. You were so right. Every woman that calls and says that they would never do that, they're a liar or they're ugly. And that's the bottom line.
Or fat. They're fat.
Exactly. That's the bottom line. Because when you're hot and you're attractive, that 7.5 girl, please go sit down somewhere. No one's trying to do anything for you, chubby. But it's harder to turn it down. And you should, guys out there, keep in mind, it is harder for us to turn it down when it's always in our face. So be smart and close your effing wallet.
Yeah, stop paying, boys.
It
will never be appreciated. Women take it for granted.
I don't think we take it for granted, but we do get used to it. And in the defense of the other,
when a man pays for you, do you go, "Oh, thank you"? I can't tell you how much.
Our mothers teach us to be like this.
Let me do your laundry for you. I'm so appreciative. I don't have anything to give you in return. How about I make dinner for the next month? No. They just take. That's the deal. Thank you, Tammy. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tommy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's going on, man?
Not much.
I wish you would have put me on earlier. You let me cool down a little bit. This is a sore freaking subject with me, man. Oh, these women, they kill me. I just don't understand why the man precipitated, why they think that the woman's body is so valuable that they got to freaking pay for this stuff. Why do they do it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. It's killing it for everybody else. I mean, getting women is not a problem. You don't need to freaking buy them stuff. I am sick and tired of them taking. And every single woman I meet, when you meet them, they say, "Oh, I'm not like that. I'm not like that." And they all are like that. Every single last one of them.
Well, women love to say they don't need men. And I'd like to see how many of them would never accept vagina money or child support.
Well, why don't you just put a law out there that says, hey, look, if the woman leaves, then you don't get anything. I want to see how many women leave at that point.
Good point. Patty, hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm calling because I was listening to your show, and I wanted to relate my own personal experience in going through the divorce process. And when I went through it, the way it came out for me and the whole alimony situation was when we went in front of the judge, he explained it to us that both mine and my husband's jobs were considered assets to our marriage. And because my husband had a higher paying job and his income was considered an asset to our marriage, and when he left our marriage, I was awarded a portion of his financial, his income for a period of time.